Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's time for the Week 7 preview edition of Fantasy Football. Harsh
Harsh
reality.
reality.
Okay, man. Woo! It goes so fast. Already into Week 7. I feel like just yesterday we were there was so much buildup looking forward to Week 1, and now we're already 7 weeks in. Please, it's like I want the rest of the year goes so slow, and then this goes so fast. It's
I
so
hate it.
I hate it
Yeah.
too, and it's like a daily. You have the Monday night football, then you do your waivers on Tuesday, then you're excited on Wednesday to see who you got, and then you set your lineups at Thursday night football, and then it's like Friday, Saturday, yes,
Yeah.
like.
Well, hey,
And
Saturday, you could start getting into some college games. Those are really fun,
no, I listen. I watch the college games too. So,
but it's
although
no
they're not,
NFL.
it's
Yeah.
not
And
the
no
same.
leagues. I
It's
have
not
no
this.
leagues.
I have
Yeah.
no leagues. I'm literally just kind of watching for betting action more than anything
Right.
else. And even then, I've stopped betting on college because I just don't follow it close enough.
Smart.
There's too many blowouts. There's too many. It's too many factors involved. I don't bet on it anymore. I'm done betting on
Good.
college. All I do
Yeah.
is lose. So. It's so funny too because they have that ESPN bet show, and they have this college gal. I think last name is she's Hispanic. Her name's like Melinda Moreno or something like that. Anyways, she seems to totally know what she's talking about, and no, she
She
doesn't.
doesn't.
She absolutely does not. And I've realized with these betting shows, I mean, think about it, the show is directly tied to the book, so I understand they don't mind them being right sometimes because
Right.
the goal is just for you to keep betting. The goal, they don't mind you winning sometimes. You're definitely going to win sometimes. So long as you keep betting, they will
Right.
eventually get that money back. But sometimes you can tell they're like, we need you to bring in money on this side of the bet. So go out there and make a case for putting money on this side.
This
That
is coming
seems
from the non-conspiracy theory guy,
a
right?
non-conspiracy theory guy. I think it's very obvious that sometimes they're going out there and trying to push some money to one side when there's too much coming in on a very obvious bet. I've sensed it, I've seen it a few times now, and more than three times more than twice you have a trend, and I've seen it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can tell they're absolutely this is what they believe in, and then other times I feel like they're trying to push money to one side or the other.
Well, I will say this. If it came out tomorrow, breaking news, this is happening, and it was they were all busted for doing this. It would not surprise me. Like
Yeah.
it would not shock me if it came out that that is absolutely true, and they verify it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, and again,
it
this isn't
wouldn't
a
be a
far-fetched
surprise.
thing. This isn't like some of these things like lizard people or something like that. This is something you can look at it. You're
Thank God.
watching it on the daily basis. You see it, and you can judge based on the evidence that's directly in front of you.
All right, I gotta ask, since we're on this kick anyway, do you believe that the games are fixed? The NFL games, not all of them, but some of the key ones, and the
We have
refs.
discussed this before. The games themselves aren't fixed so much. Certain players, I think, or refs
Yeah.
have been gotten to in certain situations. That what game was I watching last week where one of the defensive players specifically, it was the Alabama game. And oh yes, the opening drive of the Alabama game for versus I think it was Vanderbilt, and
Mm.
Vanderbilt stopped them cold. And then this random other guy out of nowhere commits a foul completely unconnected to the thing, gives them the first down, and then
No.
the drive. Then wait a minute. Then they get down to the goal line. Vandy stops them. Guess who commits another foul?
Same fella.
Same guy basically
Oh,
gave them 7 points, and they never fully recovered for the rest of the game. They
wow.
made it a game, but they never came close to winning the game for the rest of the game. And I'm watching it, I'm like, that guy got to. Somebody, and they're college kids too, and he's probably not one of those guys getting all the NIL
Exactly.
money. He's a
I think it's probably
defensive
easier to
player.
get to the
He's
college kids, right?
absolutely because they need cash. And if you're a defensive player, you're not a superstar, you're probably not getting that. You're getting something, you're getting a stipend, you're making beer money, but versus what these other guys are getting on the other side of the ball, and they're getting, they're driving around in a fucking Mercedes and shit. I just feel like I was watching that game and I'm like, that kid got to.
Yeah.
That kid got to. They wanted Alabama to score on the first drive. And they paid that kid to make sure that drive kept going twice in the opening drive, unrelated to the play, just committed penalties to just basically hand 7 points to Alabama. And so moments like that, I am fully convinced sometimes they got.
In a way, I almost would, blame the coach a little bit too. After the first time he does that, you're like, that's it. You're done for the day.
Yeah. I was literally thinking at halftime, I hope the coach goes in there and goes, this is on you.
Right.
If we lose, it's your fault. They stopped him cold, 3 and out. And then he just committed some completely unnecessary foul and gave him the first down. So I that was one of those times where I was like, this kid, he may have got to by the gamblers. And especially now that it's such a pervasive out in the open thing, the money is bigger than ever. Of course, they're trying every week, every game somewhere to get one of these guys. So if you think it's not happening, you're just a fool.
You know what? You convinced me. It's definitely happening.
Yeah. Maybe not all the time, maybe not every game, but they're trying. They're trying. And they're getting through every now and again. They'll get one.
I almost felt the same way for the NFL game. The Chicago Bears, Roma Dunze, when he scored that touchdown, they were like, you know what? DJ Moore had his pinky toe over the thing, and it was
right. Yeah.
I was like, bro, stop. That had nothing to do with that play.
What about them calling 0 fouls on Kansas City in the second half of that game? And I'm sorry,
the whole game. They didn't have one. The whole game.
The whole
0.
game. And then there was one. They're showing the running touchdown that came around the end, and you clearly see holding in the middle of the field. It's right there. I see it. No foul. Nothing at all.
And it wasn't just holding. It wasn't just holding. It was holding that clearly affected the play.
Absolutely.
And that's when you need to call.
And any other team, any other time gets called 0 calls. That is, numerically, I'm not a mathematician, but you can just numerically look at that, count up how many times that has happened in the history of the Super Bowl era of football, and your chances are probably like 0.01% for that to happen on Monday Night Football when the whole world's watching, and yet somehow.
Right. There it is. There it is. Crazy. Well, anyway,
moving on.
That was fun. That was I didn't realize we were going to start by like a nice rant.
Boy, I know.
We really got in there with some stuff.
I'm
go.
crispy, boy. I'll tell you.
Well, while you're fired up, why don't you tell us? You know what? This is the week. What is it going to be,
dude? This is the week that Bill Croskey is going to be RB1 up against our Dallas Cowboys, and Jayden Daniels will match him as QB1 one way or another. They're just, Dallas is serving it up like the town slut, and everyone's taking a ride, baby. So lock those guys in. And then my wide receiver 1, Rashee Rice, back, rested versus LV, easy matchup. I love him. And the number 1 defense will be New England. This is the week. Lock it in.
Nailed it. So I now have to pivot on my running back, and I was close to doing this anyway, so I'm just going to say it. Quinshawn Judkins is going to be the running back number 1.
Ooh.
This week versus Miami. From what I understand, going to be a bit of a hurricane or cyclone or some craziness situation
like
over
85% chance of rain. Yep.
Not just rain, but like 30-mile-per-hour winds.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Yeah.
So I
it's going to be a grinded out game for sure. I saw that too.
I was about him, before I knew about this, and now it's like, okay, fine. That 100% put him in every lineup. He's not going to be on any of them. I'll put Scadaboo on the bench and start Judkins this week because of that. But of course, it's Thursday. We're talking about Sunday. We'll have to see. But that one seems like it really will be bad weather-wise. I have Dak Prescott. It's going to be the QB number 1.
Versus Washington. Because CeeDee Lamb is back. In fact, this is the week that we welcome back, and I'm just going to put this out there and try to speak it into existence, that we welcome back all of our
friends that we have missed, like Kittle
Yep.
and Lamb and Evans and McLaurin and Rice. I want them all playing. I want all these guys. This is the week they all come back.
Well, I mean, they all have an opportunity to play. Some are definitely better opportunities than others. Like McLaurin's still a bit of a long shot. So, and again, when he comes back and when Evans comes back, I mean, these are guys, and even with CD, I think you're going to see less with CD because his is a high ankle sprain. The other guys with the hammies, don't expect them to come back as in, in their original form. They're going to take a little while. I think they're going to take a little slower with them because that's just one of those things you don't want to re-aggravate, and you don't re-aggravate it by not throwing the ball to him too much so he doesn't,
Yeah, the one guy on that list that I'm the most worried about for that is Mike Evans. He's done it before. He's come in and balled out for like a minute and then limped off the field, re-aggravated after 3 weeks. They start him too soon, but they're kind of forced at this point because Godwin's been nothing, and I think he's also re-injured. I'm not
done.
even
Yeah,
sure.
the ankle is done. Yeah.
So that's a
he's
problem.
injured again. They haven't IR'd him, but
Emeka Buka is definitely going to miss.
Another hammy.
And would you guys please, Yahoo and everyone out there, man, we know that Puka and Amika and we know who's not playing. Stop with this down. Just put them out so we can put them in IR and get somebody that we need. It's just I don't want to drop anybody, and you're killing me.
I know. I was in that position with 2 players that were listed as doubtful, so I couldn't go pick up anybody off the waiver wire.
And somebody beat you to it.
Yes. So I couldn't go grab anybody because just to pull them out of IR, I would have to drop 2 guys, and then I would have to drop somebody from that to add anybody from the waiver wire.
It's so wrong.
It's like, dude,
it's not okay.
Just to clear them out.
Please fix this.
Yes.
Please fix this.
Bucky Irving is once again doubtful. He's not.
And we know he's not going to play.
Not going to play. Just fucking put him out. Put him or put him on IR. Whatever. Just
don't do that if you don't need to, because that's
right. But just to clear him out.
Right,
just to clear him out, and then just to clear him back in. But this doubtful business is it's murderous on Fantasy Football Manager.
Yes, but you know what? This is the week that Tucker Kraft is going to be the tight end number 1.
I can see that. I feel that.
And this is the week to start looking at weather forecasts.
Yeah,
because it's also the week that everyone asks in their head, "Hey, why aren't all stadiums domes now that we can do retractable roofs?" This is the week that we all do that, and then for some reason we forget about it, and until this comes up next October, and we're like, "Hey, why don't we?" We can. I don't know why we don't.
I feel like really for the fans have to sit there but see, I think what you have to understand is the mentality of these people in these cities, which is they take pride in the weather. They take pride, like the Bills out there with the shirts off and negative 13 degrees and stuff like that. It becomes part of their identity, the weather, and it becomes a play advantage when you're playing teams like Miami
and it shouldn't
or
be.
San Diego.
That's the point.
Or rather,
the weather
Rams
should not be an advantage.
But
that's not right.
It becomes an advantage.
That's why they should all be domes. It's stupid, and sometimes it becomes a disadvantage for everybody, and the whole thing sucks, and it's just a terrible product, and we all hate watching it. And why are you doing this? Stop it.
I'm not so against it.
I hate it.
It keeps it old school.
Fine, a little rain if you want to have the option.
I like the rain. Yeah, I love it. You want to have domes with a sprinkler system.
Yeah, exactly.
That can intermittently just go off.
Let's Truman show it. You want rain? Let's Truman show all stadiums.
Cue up the rain.
Yes.
Geez, and you know who the gamblers are going to get to first? The rain
operator. The weather
operator.
Oh, whoops.
The guy in charge of the sprinkler system. They're going to be like, listen, kick it on at the top of the third, would you?
Cyclone.
Yeah. Go to heavy rain, start of the third.
Well, I have Rashi Rice as well. And I also want to say that I think that Deebo Samuel is going to be a big bounce back. This is the week, him and Croskey, big bounce back games.
Absolutely. Great Dallas. Game. Great game for Washington's offense.
So is there anything that we shouldn't be surprised about?
I'll tell you what you should not be surprised about. Don't be surprised. And remember, I nailed this last week when I said,
What you
don't be
got?
surprised if the Giants beat Philly tonight. I said that last week and I was on the money. And I'm telling you right now, don't be surprised if Jacksonville upsets
Oh,
the Rams in London.
okay.
Okay.
That one, I thought you were going to say Cincy tonight versus
No, no,
because
no,
it's
no,
a
no, no,
Thursday
no.
night
And
game.
we've
That's
seen
right.
consecutive upsets on Thursday
Yes.
night. Tonight will not be that. I don't think the
Jacksonville.
Pittsburgh,
Okay, Jacksonville. I won't be surprised.
Jacksonville, Sunday morning in London. And I'll tell you why. It's a 5-hour difference for the East Coast, and Jacksonville is the most used to it team in the NFL. The
Yeah,
Rams, it's an 8-hour difference. And I don't know when the last time they played over there was, but it's not very common for them.
and
Eight
they're
hours.
sad. They're super sad. They lost Puka, so like the whole team is depressed. If they're in a down mood, on top of it, I mean, with all
Well,
the
but Sean
travel
McVay's a
and
good enough
losing.
coach to keep them
Sure, sure. That's
motivated
true.
through this. And Puka isn't even declared out, but another
Oh,
guy
stop
that's
it. Stop it.
doubtful. I know he's not playing.
Seriously
He's not
doubtful.
playing. Yeah, he's doubtful
He's
right now.
out. He's
Trust me.
out.
I exactly couldn't agree more.
Anyway,
But
I
and
digress.
5 hours is a lot. But again, a team that's used to it and a team not used to it, and it's 8 hours. They're coming from LA. That is literally the difference between night and day. They
Yeah.
will not be there long enough to adjust. Their clock is going to be a mess. I think we saw a lot of that with the Jets because they don't go over there very often, and they
Right.
just got destroyed by Denver. But I think it's going to really factor in for LA versus Jacksonville. Just don't be surprised if
Hey,
Jacksonville upsets the Rams.
hey, remember last year when we were like, oh, because the Jags, London, it's like a home team, and we got it wrong because it was the wrong stadium. Do you remember which is the
Yeah.
one that they
Okay.
are like?
Right. The one they're good in
Is it Wembley is the one they're good in,
is
and
it's
then
not Tottenham. It's
it's
not
not
Tottenham. If
Tottenham
they
Hotspur or whatever
right, if
that
they have
one.
to play in that one, they're no good.
Got it.
It's the
We'll
one.
have to look.
I think it's
Do we know which one
Wembley.
they're playing
I
in
don't
this
know. Will
week?
it now I have to look.
Because if it's Wembley, then I think that I might just go ahead and put a bet down.
Yeah,
Although I really hate these London effing games. They just produce garbage.
you
Honestly,
really do. I wonder what the I don't see it. It just says dome.
and
What is this? Yeah, it just says dome. It doesn't.
darn it.
What is happening here? What did I just? No, not that. Okay, we'll have to look that up and find out
Yeah,
which dome it's in. But I'm hoping it's not in the. Yeah, because the
and the
top
Tottenham Hotspur
that one's bad. That one's
didn't work
bad.
out so well
That's
for
not the
them.
one that they're good in.
Yeah,
So, well, in fact, you know what? I'm going to pause. Let's take a quick pause.
go through your list. I got
Okay.
mine.
So we checked it. It is Wembley. Stick with
Alexa,
everything
stop.
I just said.
Yep,
Okay.
Wembley.
So
Their
stick with
home
everything I
stadium.
just said about them over there. I'd like them in a potential upset.
I won't be surprised.
That is my don't be surprised. What do you got?
I won't be well. I'll tell you what. I won't be surprised. You shouldn't be surprised. Don't be surprised if Tampa Bay beats the Lions,
Well,
even without Emeka Ibuka, especially if Evans comes back. Don't be surprised.
and they have that extra day because that's a Monday night game, isn't it?
Oh gosh,
Now
I
we got to look at
don't
that
know. It
too.
might be Sunday.
No, it is. It is Monday. It's the
It's Monday.
Monday early. It's the
Monday.
Monday early.
Oh, they have
They
another
have the
twofer on Monday.
another two for 4 and 7.
Sure, I don't love that either.
I don't love it either. I don't know why we're doing that.
Yeah,
Why,
I don't like it.
there's something. Why are we doing that? It's week 7.
I don't.
What are we doing with two
Throw one on
back to
Friday or
back?
Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's not start doing that because now we're shortening up weeks and doing things like that.
Yeah.
But
Fair.
yeah, I agree. One Monday night game is sufficient.
Makes it
But
special.
I won't be surprised because there's only 3 things you can count on in life: death,
What's that?
taxes, and Baker Mayfield slinging the ball.
All right. I got to remember that third one always gets me.
So I will not be surprised. That will actually, because the Lions also, again, after the Kansas City performance, I feel like maybe they're a little like, who are we? Because I don't know who you are right now. When you gave up your identity in that game, so I can you find your identity again? I don't know.
Yeah, they're certainly reeling, especially not only, like you said, it was a bad look after the game, too. They lost and then they were sore losers, started a big fight, and all that garbage went down. I mean, it just, the whole team seems like, I don't know, like you said, uncertain and angry and just
Yeah,
like,
like they kind of lost.
frustrated.
They felt last year you felt like they knew they had a shot. This year I feel like they're kind of doubting themselves, despite having all the talent. And this might be the product of having a new offensive coordinator and new defensive coordinator. We saw the effect this had on Philly and their post Super Bowl win. This I think is affecting that identity. They're not as confident in what they're doing as they were last season.
Yeah, apparently Campbell can only do so much,
Yeah, because a lot
but
of he's head coach. He's not calling the plays. He's
no.
he's the motivator pretty much, and that's about it. All right, let's move on.
Well, hold on. I've got a couple of other
I'm
quick
sorry.
ones.
Go
Don't
ahead,
be
please.
surprised. Don't be surprised if DK Metcalf goes for over 150 yards tonight
Woo! I like
versus
that.
Cincy,
I like that.
their Dallas-like defense. And don't be surprised if Saquon Barkley finishes with over 20 fantasy points versus Minnesota in a big bounce back game. And sadly, don't be surprised if Cam Scatterbo finishes with less than 10 points this week
Yeah,
versus Denver.
Denver, very tough matchup. He's never seen a defense like this one, so it'll be interesting. I will not be surprised on any of those counts. I'm really looking. I really feel like Rodgers might have a great game tonight. I just have a
It's going to be
vibe.
kind of fun.
Yeah, I got a vibe. I moved him. I'm starting him in one league where I had Fields, and Fields, of course, just got bitch slapped in London versus Denver last year, and lost Garrett Wilson. And without Garrett Wilson,
Well, we don't know. Is he out? I mean, is this another one of
there's
those
another
effing
one of
things?
those. Yeah,
God almighty.
but I think he's
Stop
going to be
it.
out. Even if he plays, he's not going to be 100%. I don't like it. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go with what I believe is going to be production.
Mhm.
I believe
Yeah.
I'm going to at least get 18 to 20 points out of it. He could go off. I believe it'll either be 2 touchdowns or 4 touchdowns. It won't be 3 touchdowns.
No,
Okay. You'll
not
either
3.
get 2 and it'll be an efficient game, 20 points. If he gets to 3, he's on fire and he gets to 4.
Let's go.
This is what's up.
I want 4, baby.
I want 4 too, baby. I want 4 too.
Do it.
I want over 250 yards and 4 fucking touchdowns. Sorry about the language. Excuse the language. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Let's move on. Must starts. Here we go. For me, with the quarterbacks, I've got 2. One of them is Rodgers tonight, Thursday Night Football. I know the trend has been on the underdogs, but I don't think that's the case tonight. And listen, the Pittsburgh does not have a great Thursday night record. They actually have a really horrible Thursday night record.
I didn't look at that.
Yeah,
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, and in fact, they're winless against division opponents on Thursday night.
Oh, wow.
Yes, but this is different. This is against a depleted Cincinnati team. I think the Pittsburgh defense is going to do what Green Bay failed to do last week, which is just get after Flacco and make his life miserable. So to me, you must start Rodgers at Cincy. And the other one is Goff versus Tampa Bay on Monday Night Football. Big rebound.
Defense is suffering over there. They got a problem. They're going to have to fire that coordinator.
And I think Goff is going to have a nice bounce. They're at home. It's Monday Night Football. They got humiliated versus Kansas City. I think this is a great bounce back opportunity for Goff. I think he's going to light it up for 300.
Completely agree with that. For me, I've got Caleb Williams versus New Orleans. 3 in a row now.
Yeah.
Right?
I like
He's
it.
starting to feel it. And
especially after that big win in Washington.
The big win in Washington, insane. I mean, an assist from Mother Nature.
Yeah.
Which I hated. It shouldn't be that way. Anyway,
I loved
the player,
it.
the player of the game should not be rain. Anyway,
I loved it.
But all the fumbling and I don't know why only Washington seemed to be affected by it. So maybe it's
and listen, they're both bad weather towns. They're both outdoor stadiums. There was no real advantage there, and the visiting team is the one that won. So I don't have a problem.
Well, if there is there is sadly a chance of rain and wind in this game as well, which I hate. But I'm still going to take Caleb Williams as a must start. And I'm going to stay in the flames with Bryce Young.
I like it.
He's a must start versus the Jets. They
Yeah.
were okay. They were okay last week. Their defense was a little better than I sort of. I kind of put them on the same level as Cincy and Tennessee and Dallas.
Right. Totally.
They're one level higher, I think.
Yeah.
But I still like what Bryce is doing out there, and I feel good. The only thing that makes me a little nervous is what they're going to do with their running back situation. But anyway, my must starts: Caleb Williams, and Bryce Young.
Okay. There we go. Love it. What do you have for running backs? Because I really don't have anybody that you wouldn't already be starting. All of mine were kind of.
True,
I mean, I do have some in the Flyers.
right?
That I kind of like. There's one that was borderline must start. And I'll tell you who it is. It's Henderson in that game versus Tennessee. But again, it was borderline, and I moved him back down into Flyers because again,
That's smart. That's a smart thing to do.
So
He's
I really
definitely not a must start.
right. He's not,
No
and
way.
I was like, no. I'm trying to make this happen. It's fetch. I'm making it happen.
I did pick two. I picked two names. One you've already mentioned. Is Croskey. Because
Okay.
he had a pretty bad game, fumbled a couple times. It was weird, but we saw what Rico Dowdle did. I mean, everyone is getting theirs. He's the only guy. Well, he's not the only guy, but he is a guy who I think is going to do great. He's going to get the first couple of opportunities, and he'll make the most of them, like everybody else does.
Yeah, and for me,
So
I felt like he was someone that, again, I didn't
he
feel like that
will.
had to be on the
Yep.
list. I feel like most people see that coming a mile away. They see Dallas, they see a running back. They're like, okay, yeah, that
Well,
starts.
I think people might. I think people might have some issues like Bill Krosky or
Nichols
like
or
Cam Scatterbo
Rodriguez
or Cam Scatterbo.
right.
Like who do I start? And I would say
Oh,
if I'm
Krosky.
you after even though the last time we saw Scatterbo, he was amazing. They yeah, exactly
And
three
who
98.
who has been calling it since
Oh yeah.
preseason?
Oh, forget. Yeah, you said he was going to be your new Derrick Henry, like while he was still in college.
Yeah,
So I
I,
give you full credit for
big
that. You were
big
there. You were
fan,
there.
big
You were there.
Scatterboo.
But you know what? So I think I would play Crosby over Scatterbo, and I know this one is seems easy, but you might have another pretty good option. But I think I might say that most. I would take Brees Hall over most people if Garrett Wilson misses. He's going to be targeted a lot. He's going to have a big floor, and they're already using the hell out of him. I don't even, as Isaiah Davis is starting to get somewhat involved. I'm not going to say he's not, but if you look at the percentage, is not.
It's the Brees Hall show.
It's a
Uh,
75-25 split,
if not more than. So
probably.
I agree with that, but again, I don't think that's anybody you got to tell people because I think if you have Brees Hall, you're probably firing him up. I mean, he's probably a top 2 round pick, if not first round. Definitely
Brees Hall this season?
Yeah.
You're talking about he went like in the fourth or fifth round. Everyone was afraid he had such a terrible season the year before that.
I don't
In
know.
fact,
I don't know they made it out of the second
everybody,
round.
everybody. Oh,
But
he was definitely not.
okay,
Not in a 10-team league. Sorry.
but
Not in a 10-team. Yes.
I don't think many people have Brees Hall that aren't going to start him this week. So that's why I wouldn't, you know what I mean? But yes, I agree. He is a must start. Yeah.
I mean, I feel the same way about, Jared Goff, you're going to start him against Tampa Bay, but I get it. There are sometimes, you got to throw a couple names out there that some people may have really good options. Hearing us say, this is the one that we say, and here's why, may help somebody
I'm just saying
win a
that's
week.
why he wouldn't have made my list, but I get it. I agree with it. I agree with it. I'm not saying I
All right,
don't.
well, what about wide receivers? Because
Wide receivers,
Yeah.
number one with a bullet, Kendrick Bourne versus Atlanta. 2 games in a row. Mac Jones is going to start again.
is he? Is that for sure?
It's not for sure. This is again with the he's practicing in a limited fashion. It's if Mac Jones starts, and I 100% believe that he will. Because it's turf toe on Purdy, you can't bring that out early. So,
You're right.
and Mac Jones is doing great. Mac Jones is playing very effectively, at least as effectively as Purdy. So but that being the qualifier, Kendrick Bourne is a must start versus Atlanta. Go ahead.
Love it. Wide receivers, Jordan Addison.
I saw that. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm gonna have
The
to hear this
reason I'm
argument,
saying
though.
this,
I'm gonna have to hear this argument.
Okay. So the reason, because look,
As a must start. You're saying a must
yes,
start.
a must start.
Jordan Addison.
Yeah, I feel like
Without knowing which quarterback is going to start. And both are
now
banged up.
don't hear what I'm not saying.
Okay.
Okay. I'm
Okay.
not saying that I would start him over like CeeDee Lamb or some major name or anything like that. I'm just saying that, you know what? If it's like, okay, Jordan Addison and Keenan Allen this week, I like
Keenan Allen.
I like Jordan better. I actually am making that decision in two different leagues, same exact decision. And I'm going to go, well, I'm going to split it. But the one that I cared more, I'm going to do Addison. I'm the one that I care more about. I'm going to put Addison in there because we saw what happened with Philadelphia last week. Their defense is kind of struggling a little bit with the deep ball. And I think they're going to obviously double Jefferson. And Addison's slowly, quietly, since his return in week 4, he's been pretty good. He's caught a touchdown in both games. Then he went on by. So you kind of forgot about him. And I think that just gives him more time to connect. Anyway, I really like the matchup. And I really think his opportunity in particular is going to be pretty damn good.
I like it. Okay. All right. I mean, my problem with it, and I saw him too, and I thought about him too.
Yeah.
But my problem with it is just the uncertainty at quarterback because both guys are banged up. They're trying to get both of them ready to play.
Yeah.
And that kind of uncertainty, the fact that Wentz could get knocked out in one hit, and the fact that J.J. McCarthy's unreliable and could get knocked out with one hit, it was too much uncertainty for me to put him on a must-start list. I would have moved him to Flyers just because of that. But I
Yeah.
get what you're saying. I put an
Let's
eyeball on him
use
too.
the caveat. Let's like the Mac Jones caveat for Kendrick Bourne. Let's use the caveat that Wentz is the
Is the
starter.
quarterback good
Yeah.
call? Okay, there you
That's
go.
that's the caveat on that one.
Another must start for me for the wide receivers. My guy BTJ versus the Rams in London for
He's
all the
heating up.
reasons I expounded on earlier. I like BTJ a lot. I think you must start him in London town. And just to give you my last one, of course, is Rashee Rice. Go for it.
Of course, yes. If he's going to be number one, but that's one, again. Then I'll say my last one is Lad McConkey. Especially if Quentin Johnston is injured. And it seems like whatever's wrong.
Quentin just got upgraded to healthy.
Okay. I still like McConkey here as a must start. When Johnston went out, the connection kind of
Oh
reformed a
no,
little bit.
absolutely. I don't think that changes his must start ability. In fact, it might actually help his must start ability.
It really might.
Yeah.
So, because Keenan clearly has started to drop off a little bit. We'll see maybe if he can bring it back. But maybe it was just like, hey, old man strength at the first 3 weeks, and then it's slowly declining, and pretty soon he'll be on IR, and that'll be the end of him. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, Lad, I like him. What about tight ends?
Tight ends, I got one with a bullet. Fannin versus Miami. Njoku is beat up. That's another one that they're like, he's questionable. He's down. Like, oh, fucking pick a lane with these guys. He's banged up. He's not going to play. It's going to be the Fannin show. Go with Fannin. I think he's a must start again versus Miami. Rainy day, short outlet passes. Love it for Fannin.
So I also had Fannin, but because of the rain and the wind, I have a pivot because they both play at the same time. So if it's so bad where it's like the wind is like, we're here pregame, and like,
right.
like you see the world flying by, you're like, oh my god,
he looks like one of those
catching any passes.
Right.
Yeah.
He looks like one of those CNN reporters in a hurricane. Like,
yeah,
it's
with
coming
the
down
umbrella.
hard. I'm just gonna seek shelter in a few minutes.
Yeah, it's bad out here. It's really bad. But yeah, so if it's that bad, then my pivot is Mason Taylor over at the Jets. And again, with Garrett Wilson potentially out, and it sounds like likely out, he's going to see an uptick. I know he laid an egg, but that was London, and London kind of sucks. But anyway, so that's my pivot if it's really bad. Keep that one in mind. And then the other one I got is Tucker Kraft versus Arizona. I think he's going to be, like I said, tight end number one. Yeah, Arizona is the 5th worst versus the tight end. And I don't know what's going on with that whole team. I just see
Yeah,
Tucker Kraft having a big day.
it's not as explosive as it seemed like it was going to be. Just like the Chargers at
Yeah,
the beginning of the season, they both looked like they were going to
different.
be just explosive offenses and tremendous lockdown defenses. And the offenses have fizzled and the defenses have kind of gotten soft. So on both counts.
Yep,
And
yep.
so I get that, but I also don't think there's anyone that has Tucker Kraft that's not starting him. He's definitely one of like those top three tight ends that you're starting every time if they play. So, but I get it. I agree with it. I just, yeah.
All right. If I put Travis Kelsey in there, would you say that's somebody that everyone's going to play
No,
no
because
matter
we
what?
all know he's gone off a cliff and he's made his way down into the and or
Fine.
conversation.
I'll take out Kraft and I'll put in Kelsey. They're playing against Vegas. That's my must start.
There you
Um,
go. Now
I think
that's
that
you would think that it wouldn't be, but that because he's not a must start every week.
I,
Absolutely not.
I thought I was doing what you want, what you were saying. Like I thought I was doing what you were expecting with Kraft over Kelsey. I really did. I
Opposite.
got it. All right. So I'm happy to flip it. I'm
Yeah.
happy to flip it.
What about defenses? Who you got?
Well, Kansas City, versus
Oh
Vegas
yeah, love it.
and
And that was
Carolina.
my other choice for defensive one. If we didn't have the tremendous revenge narrative in Tennessee with New England, I would have gone with Chiefs versus New England.
Also, another weather game.
Or Chiefs versus Las Vegas. Sorry about
Oh,
that.
I thought you were talking about Tennessee, New England. Yes. Chiefs, Vegas.
Yes,
Yep.
Chiefs Vegas would have been the other one that I'm like, oh, they're gonna just maul them. Uh,
Yeah.
For me, a must start is the Minnesota defense versus Philly. Philly's
Philly.
been an incredibly ineffective, stuck in the mud offense, and the Minnesota defense has been what's winning games for them. They've been keeping them the defense is phenomenal.
Hmm.
I think they're number one against the pass. I think it's going to be a really, first of all, bad game for Philly wide receivers, which we're going to get to that when we get to the must sits, and a must start
Uh-oh.
for the Minnesota defense.
I don't like that spoiler you just gave.
Sorry, the two
Like
kind of
it.
go hand in hand. It's kind of like,
Dang it. All right. Why don't we just rip the Band-Aid off and we can start with who you want to sit? Do you want to start with quarterbacks or
We
you want
always
to go
start
left
with
and right?
quarterbacks, and I'll just
Yes,
run through
that's it.
mine really quickly. And then, for obvious reasons, Fields versus Carolina, probably doesn't have Garrett Wilson, probably not going to be great weather. They're coming off a really tough loss. They're 0-6. Their heart is broken. Carolina's hot, riding high, coming off of beating America's team. This is
Go
very bad.
Cowboys.
Yeah, go Cowboys.
Go
Which is a
Cowboys.
game we should have won. Can you imagine that?
Of course. Of
So,
course.
and then, of course, Jackson Dart versus Denver. I know he had a
I have the
great
same Jackson
25
Dart.
point outing last week versus Philly. This is different. This is Denver in Denver. Very difficult game at elevation. Dart has never done it. Very bad for him. And Kyler, if he plays, sit Kyler. Don't start him versus Green Bay.
Do we have any update on Kyler?
Yeah,
Oh.
He's practicing limited fashion.
Oh, he
But
is. Darn
first
it.
team reps are still going to Brissett.
Good. I hope that's what happens. I hope
But
they tell him to stay.
I hope so too. It's better for Arizona if Brissett plays.
Totally. Totally.
Yeah.
The only one that I have other than those guys would be Daniel Jones this week versus the Chargers.
Why?
Well, he's been sort of having some issues on connecting. He doesn't really have anybody that's healthy there, too. I don't know. Josh Downs is probably out. Is Pierce okay? All he's got left is Pittman and Warren, and Warren's very good. And he's also, of course, got Jonathan Taylor. He may not be necessary. He may not be necessary with Jonathan Taylor. I would sit him this week. To me, I would rather play Old Man Rivers tonight. Maybe either one of the old men tonight. You got 81 years of old men quarterback out there tonight.
Now, I would like to point this out about Daniel Jones versus Denver, 26 points.
Pretty good.
Versus Vegas, 21 points. Versus Arizona, 28 points. Now, versus the Rams, 14. Tennessee, 18. So
Weird.
These are still good numbers, though. There's really only one real dip there. The 114 point game. And then before that was Miami, 31 points. So it's hard to sit Daniel Jones because even in the face of adversity, because of his legs,
Mhm.
the numbers are still good.
For me,
And
this
the
week,
Chargers
I,
defense, as I just said, has gotten soft for whatever reason.
well,
They've
I,
gone soft.
I'm telling you, this week I wouldn't play him. I
Okay.
would try to look somewhere else.
Okay.
That's
I get
just me.
and I do like the idea of going with Old Man River, Old Man Rodgers, Old Man Three
That's
Rivers,
better.
Old
Little
Man
man
Old
Rodgers.
Man Rodgers, Old Man Three
That
Rivers.
old man Rodgers.
But Rodgers don't run. Rodgers has to throw that ball in the end zone. He ain't getting you points no other way. Daniel Jones, he can scramble. He can get 20 yards here and there.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Rodgers will score a rushing touchdown tonight, just because you said that. Rushing
Oh,
touchdown from Rodgers tonight. It's coming. It's coming. You're gonna see it.
that is spicy.
Let's go.
That
You
is
just did it.
spicy.
You brought him up.
Okay. You know what? You want to put some money on it? You want
Let's
to
do
put
it.
a little
$5. Rushing
$5.
touchdown.
$5. I'll take the other side. You got it. Lock it in.
Let's go. Put it on the
Okay.
board.
Oh man, when he runs it in, I'm gonna just weep for my $5. Um, do you have any must-sit running backs?
I do. There's three. One is Michael Carter versus Green Bay. I think that they're already doing some weird stuff with Bam, and I don't know what's happening over there. It's weird. The whole situation is confusing.
And I said to stay away from that whole backfield entirely because of it.
Yeah, I definitely would sit Michael Carter, and I'm also sitting the both Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears. Whatever the
Oh.
experiment is happening over there, unfortunately, it's not good for either of them. And they're also playing against the Patriots, who I think the defense is going to be right up there. If not number one, they're going to be pretty close.
Top three, probably. Yeah.
So
Is that it?
that's it.
Let's go to wide receivers. For me, there's two teams whose wide receivers I'm staying away from entirely as sits. A Philly, who I expanded on earlier, going against Minnesota. I think it's a terrible matchup for them. The offense is stuck. The defense is great. Stay away from them. And the New England wide receivers, not because they're going to have a bad day, because you just don't know who is going to have a good day. It could be all three. It could be Demario Douglas, could be Booty, could be Diggs. We don't know. It is a mystery box in a good way. But when you only have one of those guys, you're literally, I mean, it's a dark
the good way is if you have Drake May. That's the good way.
That's the good way.
That's
Absolutely.
the good way.
Drake is
Everything
going to have
else
a great game. He should be fine. But yes, the receivers,
they're all Romeo Doubs. We never know when they're going to go off.
Yes.
We never know when it's going to happen. Each one's going to have their day. We don't know when it's going to be or who it's going to be.
I mean, according to the metrics, if you go with the one up, one down situation, it's a Diggs week. You know,
but is Diggs is also questionable. I don't know what his issue is.
It's impossible to say. I don't like any of it. I would say I would to me you sit those guys if you don't have to have them. You sit them because they might go off on your bench, but who knows? It's just too much of a mystery box. I don't like it.
So I have just Devonta Smith, not AJ. I think that's probably because I am the manager of
I was going to say because
leagues,
you want AJ to do great.
I don't want to say it out loud, so you're probably right, and I'm saying it right now. But I do have Devontae, and you're probably right. It's probably both. And then Jalen Waddle. The defense over there is great. Plus, if the wind, again, if it's, hey, we're here in pregame, I mean, I would
no, I agree
stay
with
away,
that
1,000%.
Yep.
How about tight ends? These are a little bit harder because you almost don't have a lot of choice. I always say that, but
really, I mean, if you're being completely honest, the only truly dependable must-start tight end is Trey McBride.
No, that's not true. Tyler Warren.
And Tyler, well, I guess that's
awesome.
True. And Tyler Warren. But everybody else, I mean, it's week to week. You're looking at one with Theo Johnson, 2 touchdowns, barely touched the ball, didn't even see it last Thursday night. So with these guys, it's tough to say must sit. You're looking for a good matchup, and that's about it. And hoping that it works out. You're just looking for production at this point.
That's why that's my favorite keeper position. If you can nail one at like, I've got Tyler Warren in a bunch of leagues. I already know that that's going to be my keeper next year. Wherever I got it was like 10th or 11th. I
Right.
love having this opportunity.
And Brock Bowers is another guy
Mm.
who is questionable.
And we know he's not
And we
going to
know he's going to
play
play because they have a
a
bye week
bye the
next
week
week, so he
after.
can be
Yes.
totally healthy for the remainder of the season and actually get back to playing Brock Bowers level play. And the only way that
Yes.
happens is if you don't play him this week. But sure enough, they're playing their games. No, we fine. He's questionable. No, he's not. He's sitting down. We all know it. So
Well, yes, agreed. You know what? And now that we're actually talking about this team, I'm going to say something that I think is against the grain that all the other guys are saying the opposite of me. I think that Mayer is a must sit this
mhm.
week versus Kansas City. I don't care about Brock,
Yeah.
right? I don't it's Gino I'm worried about. And Kansas City's defense is awesome and they're getting better and their
Yeah.
Spags has got them cooking. And you know what? Who else are they going to try to cover? I think Jacoby is hurt. This Trey Tucker, whatever, he's one of these one-hit wonders. He's another Dobbs, he's like a Thornton. All these random dudes they've got, but their most reliable targets are out. So they're going to look at him. And the only other target monster over there is Genty.
Yeah.
So I would
Genti's the
not
only
play.
must start in that city.
Yeah, yeah. Unless you have IDP and you're playing individual players, then you could play Max Crosby.
But
But other than that,
even then, he's been pretty toothless this season.
oh, really?
Yeah, yeah,
Huh. Have to
not
look at his
incredible, not
box score.
great.
But I say sit Mayor. And the other one, I guess, is obvious. I don't think you would, I don't know if anyone even has him anymore. But is TJ Hawkinson still a thing to tell people to not do, or are people hip to that?
No, I think you would have to tell them that because he's still a
Don't play
name that
him.
people see and they're like, oh, Hawkinson's available. And again, the projection is right there at the top of these. Everyone's in that 4 to 7 point projection range, and he's at the top of the 7 point projection range, regardless of the results.
Yeah, I must say that nothing is happening
Yeah.
with either one of the quarterbacks. So I don't
Yep.
even know who's going to suit up, but neither one of them seem to, and I know he was kind of slowly coming back in, but he hasn't done anything and he doesn't seem to make any difference or move the needle in any way. I would not be starting him. I would look for almost any other
Tight
option.
end over him.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. All
Yeah.
right. Anything else? Any sits? Any other sits?
Not for tight ends. The defenses, I would sit the Giants defense versus
Obvious.
Denver. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's obvious. Giants defense is pretty good, but versus Denver this week, it's a bad matchup. The way they match up isn't good, and I would sit them, but
Okay.
that's the only one.
I'll take that. All right.
So, yeah.
Let's move on to sleepers and flyers.
Boom.
Now for me, the sleeper flyer quarterback is Bryce Young.
Love it.
Obviously, primarily because of the matchup versus the Jets, who are stink bombs, coming off a big win versus our beloved Dallas Cowboys. But that kind of mojo does a lot for a young team coming alive. The Ted McMillan thing is solid as a rock at this point.
Yep.
That is
Don't
it.
forget
And
my
then
don't forget my crush from last year.
Leggett is coming alive. He's getting some touches.
He's a late
He
bloomer.
is. And so
Yeah.
these things are happening for them. Even Tommy Tremble, the tight end, is starting to see some action. So
True.
for me, great flyer this week, Bryce Young, and another plus matchup versus the Jets
And I think he's still under 5,000 as well on
on DFS.
DraftKings. So that is an incredible buy, especially versus the Jets. I
Yeah,
think
especially when Jayden Daniels is going to be very expensive.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So for quarterback, I've got Wentz or McCarthy, whichever one of them is going to start. They're both 5,000. As a DFS flyer, I'll take it. We'll see if Jordan Addison opens up the pass game for
Yeah.
one of these guys. And I think Jordan Nason's going to catch a couple of short passes and go for long runs. I do. I
Okay.
think he's going to have a good game too. I just want to put that out there. I would call him a must start. That's a good must start. Jordan Mason this week. But so I've got them, and then I've got If Kyler doesn't play, Jacoby
Brissett.
Brissett.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
And he's 4,500.
Yeah.
So
Although
those are my
he is
quarterbacks.
with all likelihood going to be missing Marvin Harrison
Marvin
Jr.
Harrison.
So
Yeah, I hear you there.
so that plays into it a little bit.
True.
For me, moving on to running backs, I have three for you. Tyler Algier at San Francisco for Atlanta. He's managed over 10 points in 3 out of 5 games. If you're looking for production, you need somebody to fill that flex spot that's going to be cheap. Tyler Algier. Hendo in Tennessee. I got a vibe on it, man. I got a
How
vibe.
much is he? How much
I don't
is
know.
he?
It can't be much. You can look
I
it up.
I bet you he's closer to 6,000. I bet you he's like 50.
You're right, because everyone's
600.
expecting this game. Everyone's expecting it. And it
Yep.
just hasn't happened. And
It's
I'm
not happening. Must
maybe
sit. Must sit. Travion Henderson. Let me add him to the list too.
listen.
Until further note, until you see.
Flyer.
All right.
Flyer.
Okay. Sure. Flyer.
And my final one is Woody Marks. They're playing on Monday Night Football at Seattle, and I think they're going to be down. They're going to have to throw, and that's going to be Woody Marks' time versus Nick Chubb time. So I think there's going to be a lot more in the second half. It's going to be Woody Marks' time. I like him as a flyer. It bounced back. He had a terrible game last time he was out there. This game, I like him in a bounce back. I like him as a flyer versus Seattle.
So I got a couple running backs. One is a guy who I've been kind of trying to bring to everybody's attention for over the last few weeks, even some of last season. Kendre Miller. We've both been talking about him quite a bit. I would use him as a DFS dart throw this week. I got a feeling that this is the week. I should have put it on here. This is the week that he out touches Kamara. He out snaps Kamara in this game. So I've got him as a flyer, 4,900. And again, flyer, Jeremy McNichols versus Dallas, 4,600.
Well,
Chris Rodriguez apparently has gone away.
Yeah, no, it's Croskey and it's McNichols.
McNichols.
No, I agree with that. I like that one a lot better than the Kendre Miller call.
Hey,
for me, Kendre, Hendo, same.
All right. You know what? That's fair. Good point.
Yep. Moving on,
wide receivers.
I like, again, flyer. I like Alec Ayomanor. They're going to be down. They're going to have to throw. And
no Calvin Ridley.
No Calvin Ridley, with all likelihood. Another guy that they're like,
right. We know he's out.
No, he's not. He's not playing. He has a hamstring injury. You're not playing him. It's going to be Alec Ayomanor. They're going to be down. They're going to have to throw it. The head coach is gone. This week is Animal House. This week, they are just doing whatever the fuck they want to do. And don't be surprised if he's just throwing it wherever the hell he wants to send the ball. Cam Ward's it's going to be Animal House on the Tennessee side of the ball, and that could mean a couple big plays for Alec Ayomanor. Remember, garbage time points are still points.
Oh yeah,
he's the flyer as far as I'm concerned.
Ask Jamar Chase about those.
Yeah, the other one I like is Luke McCaffrey. This guy,
that's on my list too. Good one.
He only catches 2 balls a game, 1 ball a game, but at least one of them is going to be a touchdown.
It's a touchdown.
That's all he does is catch touchdowns. Yep. And again, against Dallas,
the other one's going to be a long play, a long pass.
Exactly. It's going to be a 40-yard plus play for a touchdown. Luke McCaffrey, that guy I like in a flex play in DFS. And my other flyer is Tez Johnson for the Buccaneers at Detroit, Monday Night Football. Again, count on 3 things in life: death, taxes, and Baker Mayfield throwing the ball.
Baker Mayfield throwing the ball.
And with Evans still being, Evans comes back, but he's going to be banged up. There's really, Sterling Shepard has not happened. The Tez Johnson thing might be the thing that exciting catch.
That was very, very exciting. And so was the celebration.
Exactly. Listen, it got me wet. So
right?
I got
like that half twist?
I got real wet.
Like,
I got slick. I got real slick.
A little moist.
A little moist. A little moist on that one. I'm telling you. So there's and versus Detroit. If Detroit starts out fast, they got to keep up, and you can count on Baker to just keep slinging. I think he likes Tez Johnson. I like Tez Johnson as a flyer. Those are my 3 wide receiver flyers. Who you got?
I love them. I just want to piggyback on one of those. I didn't think of it. That Luke McCaffrey one. Another really good point is if for some reason they get out to a big lead, they're going to rest. They don't want to make McLaurin go nuts, right?
If he
He's
even
banged
plays,
up,
yes.
and Sam, if he plays, and Debo was not good last week, his heel is messed up. They want to try to sit these guys, so he might. I mean, if they get a lead, I don't know how it's going to go, but there is a scenario where Luke might get extra snaps and extra opportunities. So
There
it's a
is.
good one. And by the way, he is because I have him on my list. He's 4,100. That's right. I
That's
bet you
right where
Tez.
you want to be on the filler line. Yeah.
I bet you Tez is even less. I don't know. I bet you he's like in the. I bet you he's closer to 36, which is a real. That's the. You get one of those, you have won like money. You've won some real money.
Yeah. And let me
But
just,
so
I'll
my
check
other.
that while you're going through yours. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah. I've got 2 other sleepers. One, I guess, if you want to call it a sleep, one's not really that big of a sleeper, but the other one is Troy Franklin versus the Giants. The Giants have the biggest weakness in their defense is the deep ball. And Troy Franklin and Marvin Mims are both good at that. But Troy Franklin seems to be the one who's got a bit more connection with Bo. And we've seen him sort of flash a little bit already in this young season. Well, maybe not as young as I want it to
I
be, but
know.
nearly
We're
halfway
almost
middle
halfway
age,
there. Stop it.
nearly
I feel like
middle
a
age.
parent. Like, don't grow up. Stop growing up.
Sucks. But I've seen him flash throughout this season so far, and for 3,900, can't really beat it. Now, here's one that's not necessarily a sleeper, but if Josh Downs is out, and it looks like he will be, and we don't know about Pierce's condition, um, you know, take a
Booling.
DFS. It's only 5,100 for Michael Pittman.
Oh, Pitt. Oh, yeah. That's a great flyer then.
Yeah,
Tez Johnson,
36,
4,200.
42. Awesome. Such a good price.
Good
The
price.
price is the price. Today's
Good.
price. That's
Today's price is 4,200. Get in on that price today. Today's price is not next week's price.
You got any tight ends for us?
No, that was it for me on the sleeper flyers. What do
So
you
I've
got?
got a couple. I've got a couple of good ones, I think, for tight end.
Okay.
So I've already mentioned him a few times, but this is a new podcast, and this is a perfect time to insert him into this area. Chig Okonkwo in Tennessee versus New England. He will have to listen. He was a target monster after Calvin went out, and he's going to have to throw it to someone. He's probably their most reliable. Well, I would say, gosh, he's probably their most reliable pass catcher. I don't know if you want to put Ayomanor in there or not, but he seems to be getting all the targets. He's 3,300, so he's a good flyer, I think. And then Oronde Gadsden, the
Oh,
tight
yeah.
end.
Chargers.
Yeah, but the Chargers who just showed up out of nowhere. In fact, I've been getting a lot of back and forth on some of our takes. We had our
Yeah.
AJ Barner tight end discussion. Somebody brought up Gadsden, and I was like, "Hey, get ready for the show!" Spoiler alert: I've got him as a flyer this week. I wouldn't call him a must start, and I wouldn't go
Okay.
grab him in, for regular season just yet. I mean, if you want to stash and you have that luxury because somehow you don't have anybody on IR or whatever, and you just want to stash this guy and have whatever you want, do it. But he's 3,300 as well. This is a great matchup versus the Colts. And with him coming on, he just might be a guy that people aren't thinking about that could really help you win some money in DFS.
Nice. Okay. All right. Anything else? Anyone else? Anybody else in the Flyers department?
I mean, if you want to take a flyer on Carolina or the Dolphins, the Dolphins are 2,700, their defense, especially if it's super rainy and crazy, it might work in both defenses' favor. So 2,700 on that. You're saying no. And
No,
then,
do not listen to him. Do not play the
and
Miami defense.
how about this one? Here's one you can listen to. How about it's a flyer. You can listen
I
to it
know,
as a
but they're in the
flyer.
weather. They're Miami.
It
They're
might be great for both defenses. It's a flyer. So
you're okay.
Carolina, Mayada.
You might be
Anyways,
right though, because
thank you.
Dylan has been terrible, so he might just lob it up there and give up 9 interceptions. You never know. You're right. As a flyer, Miami is a deep flyer.
And then Carolina. versus the Jets, they're actually even less money
Yeah. No,
than
that one I like.
the Dolphins. They're 2,500.
Yeah.
These are Flyers, but
Yeah. That
I
one I
don't
like a
think.
little bit more because at least they're on a hot streak, whereas Miami is just in the dump. So
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
it's
Do
time.
you have a lock? Are we gonna make some money? Do you have one?
I have no locks. I went
Ah,
through, I
tough
went,
one.
I went through the week, and there was now I do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dice rolls that I think are really solid dice rolls, but 0 that I could say is a lock. There was and I didn't want to force it. I didn't want to force it and be like, I gotta have a lock. If I don't see a lock, I don't see a lock. And honestly, I don't see a lock. But I do see 5 good dice rolls, and I'll give them to you just rapid
Okay, what do you
fire.
got?
Here we
What do you
go. Jacksonville +3 versus the Rams. I've
got?
already talked about this, how I think they might upset them straight up. I like them +3 versus the Rams in London. Vikings +1.5 at home versus Philly. Philly's reeling, even though it seems like they
Only
should,
a point and a half? God, that seems low.
but they're at home, so then they're +1.5.
Right. Mm,
I mean, again, it's a dice roll, not a lock. I like it
fair.
as a dice roll.
Right.
Carolina -1, coming in high. This is the one I almost made my lock. I
But against the
almost
Jets,
made
let's
this
go.
my lock at the Jets. But it's still Carolina. So,
Right.
and they
It's
were
hard.
playing Dallas, and even though the Jets stink, I still couldn't make it my lock. If I were gonna make a lock, it would be Carolina -1. In fact, the second I saw it, I went ahead and bet it just to get it while there's still, while there was still just a point,
There you
because I
go.
feel like it could move. Patriots -7 at Tennessee. That's a lot, but it should be just a butt fuck. And what I really like is it's an even 7 right now, and that means you get a shot at a push in the event that
Right.
it's just 7. And then Cards +6.5 if Brissett plays.
Mm.
And
Oh, yes, I like that.
you almost
If
kind
he
of grab
plays, do you
that
think that the line
now.
will go up? No, I wonder if they'll change the line if Brissett plays and give you even more points. I
It's a good
wonder what
question.
Vegas thinks.
It's a good question. But right now they're +6.5,
Yeah.
and I like it exclusively if Brissett plays.
Mm. Juicy.
That's
That's
it.
a fun one.
Those are my dice rolls.
That's a fun one. I don't know
What do you
how it
got?
didn't trip my trigger. Well, I'm going to go ahead and do it. My lock of the week,
Oh boy.
Dallas versus Washington. Over under 55 points. I'm taking the over.
I knew it. I
Lock
knew
it
you
in,
would.
baby.
I knew it. I knew it.
Let's go. Lock it in.
And you know
Over
what? There's
55.
absolutely no reason you shouldn't. It's such a high number, though.
Let's go.
It's so much, but you're right. I
Yeah.
can't disagree with you. The way Dallas is going to score, the way Washington's going to score, there's no reason to disagree with it. It's just
Yeah.
such a high number to take the over on.
I'm taking it. I'm
But
taking it.
I have to agree with you. It's a tough call as a lock. But I
I'm
like it.
locking it in.
I
I'm
like
locking
it. I like the lock.
Yeah. I like it a lot.
I like the
Anyway.
lock a lot.
I like the lock. Anyway, so I've got 2 dice rolls. I think you might like these as well. Seattle -3 over the Texans.
Okay.
I think they can cover that spread. And the Bucks +5.5 over the Lions.
Oof.
At the Lions' house, too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where he's
With
best. That's why you want Goff. I get it. I get that. That's why it's a dice roll.
It's a dice roll. It is a dice roll.
But there were 3 things. I can't remember the third. What do you know? It's a death, something.
Yeah, death, taxes, and one other thing. What is it?
One other thing.
It's called slinging the ball, baby.
Yeah, that's it. 5.5.
5.5.
Roll the dice.
I mean, it's tough. Lions at home, smarting from a tough loss against an injured Buccaneers team. That's tough. I get it. It's a dice roll. I know, and it's great for fantasy, but for gambling, I'm not touching it.
Taking it. Dice roll.
I got it. Dice roll. Dice roll. Light them up.
Whoa. Oh, snake guys.
Yeah, that's what happens with dice rolls.
Damn it.
I like your lock. Boy, that's a good one.
Thank you.
I may have to go for it right now. Um,
Yeah.
all right, that's it. That's it. And really quickly, if we could address this just quickly,
Mm,
let's talk about trade etiquette, okay? Because it seems like people just want to win the trade, okay? That isn't, no one's going to just let you win. If you win a trade, it's usually by accident. It's usually because you traded a guy and then that guy got injured and your guy blows up. You know what I mean? Winning a trade is usually a matter of it being an accident. If you're going to come with a trade, don't just try and exchange. Here's two shitty players for a good one. No. You need to try and solve the other guy's problem too. What do
exactly.
they have too much of that that they're light on that and you're heavy on that, but light, and then you can make an equitable
Okay. You know
trade.
what?
That's what you're looking
The,
for.
the etiquette would be take a look at what you're offering. Imagine somebody was offering that to you. Would you accept it? If you wouldn't, don't send that to somebody else. And number two, if you look at it and it's hard and you're like, God, I don't know if I want to do this, that's probably a fair trade. Whatever, when you're feeling like the etiquette should be, you're a little nervous yourself, you're taking a risk, you're trying to do something and it's not a given. If it was a gimme that you're going to win the trade, you're not going to make the trade.
Yeah. No, absolutely, dude. And also, don't be afraid to speak up when there's collusion going on, when someone's obviously trying to help somebody else. No. This happened today in
Oh
one of
my
my
God,
leagues, in one
what
of my
happened?
leagues. So last week, and this is one of my comedians leagues. So last week, one of these guys in the league just gave up on the season. He's like, I'm done. I'm 1-5. I'm down here in the cellar. I'm fucking done. Then today, I just happened to notice that there was a trade that was listed in our league. And he was giving our commissioner Quinshawn Judkins
Hmm.
and Devonta Smith for Trey Tucker and Kenneth Gainwell.
Okay, that's not
In
okay.
what universe
Yeah, that's
is
that's
that not
crazy.
me quitting the season, going, here, let me help you? Which, by the way, it's also like his best friend. So he's obviously giving
Wow.
him two great pieces for garbage. Okay.
Yeah,
And I
that's
immediately, I'll even let me hold this up to the, if you guys can see that, I immediately went off.
oh yeah, I see. That's
I
a
immediately,
novel. You got a
yeah,
novel.
I took a screenshot and I immediately, and this is at 7:26 in the morning.
I love that.
Okay, so let me get this straight. Val gives up on the season last week, then coughs up this trash trade to Seabass. Anyone else think this stinks to high heaven? And then it just that
Everybody
started
was
it.
like ding ding ding
Yeah,
ding
like it
ding.
just started the whole everybody just like no. And eventually he was like, fine, I'll cancel it. I'll cancel it. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah, you will.
come on.
And don't come on. What do you think that we're all schmucks? Like, are we all idiots? That's how you don't think anyone's going to notice? None of us
Yeah, and it makes
that
me
this
just
is
not want to
happening.
be in your league next year if you're going to be pulling it. And this league always has these kind of shenanigans. It's one of I've
Yeah,
left
that's
this.
pretty
I've
obvious.
left this league twice already.
Yeah.
Okay, and then there was like, come on, make the league. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make the league. And then they pull the shenanigans again, and I'm like, okay, this is why I keep leaving this league.
Is this a keeper league, by the way?
No,
Okay, curious. I was curious to see if there was any of that action going on.
no. So
Um, yeah, well, I was hoping that we would have more time to do like a full-on episode about the trades and the etiquette. I've got some notes and tips and stuff that to give you guys for real for tips for trades. I don't know if you want to
I don't want
save
to. No,
that.
no, no. Yeah, we'll save that for another time. Just remember, you're solving their need, they're solving your need. That's a fair trade. Anytime you go into it just going, maybe I can get him, it's not going to go through. And you're an asshole for pitching it.
Yeah, you know what? I guess
I always
we can stick to
counter.
the etiquette
I always counter with
with some
with a
garbage.
ridiculous, like, oh no, but I'll tell you what, I will take your number one quarterback and your number one tight end for a piece of garbage off my bench. How about
Yeah,
that?
how's
Will you
that?
take
How's that?
that? You gonna take that?
No, oh, you're rejecting that? What? That's
Oh,
weird. Why would you do that? I'm trying to make a deal with you. Why are you so objectifying?
so you're not an idiot, but I'm an idiot. Come on, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
Come
I
on,
mean,
tighten it up out there, guys. Tighten it up.
we can at least stick to there's, when you're doing trade etiquette, the first thing is to identify not just your needs, but the other player's needs.
That's
You
literally what I
can't
just
go,
said.
yeah, you can't go out there and say, look, they need a wide receiver. And you're like, well, I'll give you, a third string running back for your wide receiver. That's stupid. You're not looking at both sides.
Yeah,
Yes,
another.
that's
I got another crappy trade in my dynasty league. I was like, what is this? He was trying to get Rashee Rice and Scadaboo from me for Javonte Williams and somebody. I'm like, are you out of here in dynasty? You want my two young studs for an old broken down? He's like, but you're a Cowboys fan. I was, oh my god.
you're like, yeah, that doesn't make me as dumb as Jerry.
He goes, where's your loyalty? I said, my loyalty's to
Is
me.
to my team, to the team that I built, this dynasty. Let's go. All
That's
just
right. Listen, I'm the only team that's been in every final since the league's been around. So
that is an impressive feat.
yep. 3 for 3 with one title, 2 second place finishes and a first. So anyways, this is it. Week 7, lot to go. The game started. We got to go catch up with it. Man, come on, Rodgers.
Here we go. He's about to rush. He's about to rush a touchdown.
If
$5
you cost
rush.
me $5, I'll be so proud of you, buddy. I'll be so
Thank
excited.
you, man. I'm so excited.
All right.
Let's go.
This is it. Week 7 preview. Fantasy football.
Harsh
Reality.
reality.